Welcome to our latest news update. Today we'll be discussing some of the most talked about news pieces from the past week. First up,
Ed Sheeran's potential retirement from music if he's found guilty in a copyright suit. Then,
Adam Conover's criticism of David Zaslav in a CNN interview over the writer's strike.
We'll also be discussing
Steven Crowder's wife-rant video and the allegations of abusive behavior. Moving on.
The Flash production designer's comments on audiences forgetting Ezra Miller's crimes. And we'll be talking about some exciting music news with
Rage Against the Machine, Willie Nelson, and Missy Elliott. Finally, we'll be updating you on
Jamie Foxx's hospitalization and the calls for prayers from his friends. So, let's get started.
Ed Sheeran is facing a lawsuit that claims his song, Thinking Out Loud, plagiarizes Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On.
Sheeran's attorneys have been unsuccessful in getting the case dismissed.
Sheeran has threatened to quit music entirely if he is found guilty of copyright infringement.
He believes any similarities between the two songs are coincidental and too common to constitute infringement.
The case will be decided by a jury, as per Judge Louis Stanton's ruling in September 2022.
Sheeran has not addressed whether the verdict will impact his upcoming mathematics tour.
Well, it looks like Ed Sheeran might have to start brushing up on his resume writing skills. Speaking of people who could use some help with their writing, Adam Conover had some choice words for David Zaslav in a recent interview.
Writer and comedian Adam Conover criticized the CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery, David Zaslav, for being paid $250 million last year during an interview with CNN.
Conover, who is a member of the Writers Guild of America and creator of Adam Ruins Everything, pointed out that Zaslav's salary is equivalent to what 10,000 writers are collectively asking for.
He also called out Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos, who made $50.3 million in 2022, for not paying writers enough.
Conover argued that writers who create shows for these companies are struggling to pay rent and mortgages while the companies are making record profits.
On Tuesday, WGA members picketed outside of studios in New York City and Los Angeles, including those of Amazon, Apple, and Paramount Global.
The interview ended with a joke from CNN anchor Sarah Sidner, who thanked Conover for ruining everything and potentially ruining her career.
And speaking of people who need to work on their relationships, we have Steven Crowder up next. But first, let's hope Adam Conover doesn't come knocking on his door anytime soon. Conservative commentator Steven Crowder has been accused of running an abusive workplace by 10 former employees of his show, Louder with Crowder.
The allegations come after a leaked Ring video showed Crowder berating his wife, who was 8 months pregnant with their twins at the time.
Former employees claimed that Crowder often screamed at his employees, exposed his genitals, sent out directives to arbitrarily fire people, and made underlings wash his dirty laundry.
Crowder has denied the allegations and claimed that the leaked video was misleadingly edited.
The former employees spoke out after the sickening footage was made public, and Crowder's former co-host called him a bully in an interview.
Crowder became wildly influential among conservatives for his brash contrarian takes, irreverent approach, and crusades against big tech. But many former employees describe him as volatile and capable of working every angle of your emotions.
Well, speaking of forgetting things, it looks like the Flash production team is hoping audiences will forget about Ezra Miller's past behavior. But let's not forget about Steven Crowder's ex-staff exposing his abusive pattern in his wife-rant video. The Flash's production designer, Paul Austerberry, believes that Ezra Miller's performance in the upcoming film will make fans forget about the actor's off-screen behavior.
Austerberry praised Miller's dedication and professionalism while being under a lot of pressure, having to play 2 different versions of the character and filming 6 days a week with only 3 days off during the entire shoot.
Miller has a history of run-ins with the law and alleged erratic behavior, including drug possession, disorderly conduct, burglary, harassment, and second-degree assault.
Despite Miller's legal troubles, The Flash has been generating considerable buzz for months, with some participants calling it one of the best superhero movies ever.
The marketing for the film has focused heavily on Michael Keaton returning as Batman, but one of the film's producers insisted that Miller is still the center of the movie, being in almost every scene.
Director Andy Muschietti recently updated audiences on Miller's progress, stating that they are taking steps to recovery and dealing with mental health issues, but are committed to getting better. The Flash opens in theaters on June 16th.
Well, speaking of forgetting crimes, let's switch gears to some musicians who have never been caught with a stolen melody. Rage Against the Machine, Willie Nelson, and Missy Elliott are making headlines for their upcoming performances.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has announced its class of 2023, which includes Rage Against the Machine, Willie Nelson, Missy Elliott, Kate Bush, George Michael, Sheryl Crow, and the Spinners.
Chaka Khan, Al Cooper, and Bernie Taupin will receive the Musical Excellence Award, while DJ Kool Herc and Link Wray will receive the Musical Influence Award.
Don Cornelius, the late creator and host of Soul Train, will receive the Ahmet Ertegun Award, which honors non-performing industry professionals.
The inductees were chosen by an international voting body of over 1,000 artists, historians, and members of the music industry, and nominees must have had their first recording released at least 25 years ago to be eligible.
This is Rage Against the Machine's 5th nomination and Kate Bush's 4th, while Willie Nelson, Missy Elliott, George Michael, and Sheryl Crow are being inducted for the first time.
Finalists who did not make the cut this year include Soundgarden, The White Stripes, Cyndi Lauper, Joy Division, New Order, A Tribe Called Quest, Iron Maiden, and Warren Zevon. The induction ceremony will take place on November 3rd at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. From rocking out with Rage Against the Machine to praying for Jamie Foxx, it seems like the music industry is covering all the bases. Let's hope Jamie's hospital room has some good tunes to keep him company. Jamie Foxx remains hospitalized more than 3 weeks after suffering a medical emergency, and his family and friends are asking for prayers and well wishes from his fans.
The exact details of his condition are being kept secret by his family, but sources close to him are urging people to pray for him.
Foxx's daughter, Corinne, announced on April 12 that her father had suffered a medical complication.
Foxx is a prolific actor in Hollywood, and his condition has caused disruptions for studios, including the popular music game show, Beat Shazam, on Fox, which he hosts.
Sources say that Foxx will not be hosting this season of Beat Shazam, which is starting filming today with a new host, and Corinne, who DJs on the show, will also not be present as she has been by her father's side in the hospital.
Foxx was in Atlanta for work on the film, Back in Action, when he fell ill, and a stunt double and body double have been filling in for him on that project.